Okay, so my name is Gareth. You're watching the Hub Online Network, and I'm sitting here with, in physical distancing fashion, with Nadine Davenport, a local musician and artist in Ashcroft. And how are you doing today, Nadine?
I'm doing great. Nice to be here, social distancing with you. Thank you.
So what have you been up to over the last month and a half?
Um, well, the past month after I shut down, which was about March 13th, I think I was the last date that I was open at Unity.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to go work with my girlfriend at the time in Squamish. She owns a food truck, so I was able to do that and sort of be able to get a little bit of money until we figured out what the plans were for the government to bring in some money for businesses such as mine. So that's happened, and now I'm back in Ashcroft, and I'm really looking forward to creating some music and concentrating on my music and being back here and enjoying life here.
So what was the process, or have you been able to take advantage of any government programs for Unity?
Yeah, the first part of the CERB program, because I'm on council, the stipend that I receive, um, I was disqualified. So that kind of put me into, okay, I have faith that the government will come out with something else to cover those people, like musicians, like contract workers, like even part-time workers, wherever they work, that make a small amount of money, given the opportunities right now are less when before COVID world was in place. So I knew that they would come through, and they have. So I can make up to $1,000 a month, which is under what I make as a council person. And that I've applied and got my first 4 grand, I guess, is what they say. And I feel very fortunate and grateful. I also have been able to look into deferring my hydro. You have to be on CERB before you actually get to have the hydro where they uh, do hydro relief, the BC Hydro Company. Different things like deferring my truck insurance. So I feel like I'm on top of it. And between what I get as a council person and what CERB is giving me, I feel very confident that I'll be able to reopen. I mean, it's such a sad thing. We don't know how long it's going to take, but I feel very fortunate and grateful that I can be at home doing what I love, which is, as you can see behind me, all about music.
Have you been watching any of the other sort of bigger name artists and musicians doing the live concerts and stuff from their homes? Have you noticed any of those?
Yeah, I sure have. I'm glad you asked because I was going to mention that. There's three that really I keep on watching, and it's Rufus Wainwright. He does these quarantunies. He wakes up. He's in his bathrobe, and he's every morning he's doing something, and it's riveting to watch and very personal, and it's really amazing to see his environment. Another one that I watched recently was Stevie Winwood, and he was doing boogie woogie on his piano, and the fire was crackling, and his dog was on the the couch right on the where the pillows are. And another one I watched is Pink, and she said, "I'm finally learning how to play piano," and she did this amazing rendition of a ballad. And so those are just three that I have really, go back to see how they're progressing.
Awesome. So how do you feel that so moving forward, once everything sort of gets back to a quote unquote normal, um, how do you see like concerts happening moving forward?
Well, it's hard to say because they're really sort of clamping down on the amount of people that can come together. I mean, even it's 50 or less, but I see from what is happening, that is even something that you know, seems to only bode well if you're at a grocery store like Walmart or Costco, and they limit how many people are coming in. So for cafes and restaurants and music venues, I think we're like the secondary wave that we all are going to figure out how to work with that. My capacity at Unity is 30. No way could we fill Unity at 2 meters apart from one another and get 30 people in there. I'm thinking more probably like maybe 15. And I'm not sure if the artists would actually be able to make some sort of money, bearing in mind that all the money comes in. It's an 80-20 split between the artist and myself. So I do have a show lined up as soon as we're ready to go, and that's Aaron Halliday. He does the tribute to Alan Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
We had to cancel him in early March. So he lives in Kelowna, so that kind of was the first instinctual move for me to get somebody who is close, that is not necessarily on tour, but can make the trip and within a day. And we'll get it up and going as soon as we can. I'll bring out my tape measure and do the 2 meter distancing and have all the things in place that we need to. So my hope is that we get it up for September, but it's a waiting game, as we all know.
So based off of everything going on within the government then, here to the ground as to when Unity can possibly open up and start having teas and coffees again, or?
It's unknown. I mean, I think that there's different things that are pointing in that direction, like in Kamloops, the mayor there is opening up the big auditorium, the outdoor track and field. They're allowing people to use that. So those are just small steps, I think, that in this area, in this region, that are kind of, they're experiments to see if people actually will do social distancing. And what he said, that there would be park ambassadors is the name that he used to kind of like figure out whether people need to be looked at or suggested, or just the faces that people can make sure that it's not so ad hoc. So yeah, we'll see if that kind of works out.
Okay. So what kind of music have you been drawn towards in isolation?
Well, yesterday I listened to a lot on Spotify. Just a lot of guitar, instrumental. Some days I wake up and I want to have some, mariachi music on. Some days I don't know, it runs the gamut, but I do have my favorite songwriters, and but sometimes it's nice to just listen to instrumental music. So that's probably what I've been listening to most right now.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. And we should touch on this because I know you go to Desert Days.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Desert Days cancellations?
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I know it's all the festivals seem to be sending out that on Facebook. It's really sad. But, until we know exactly what's going on in terms of what the government, I don't like to say the word allowing, but we're all part of the solution to kind of like take note of what everybody else is doing as well. And unfortunately, there's a number of festivals, key festivals that I know it's heartbreaking. Arts Wells up in Wells, BC, they've just canceled as well. So it seems to be, every day I'm waking up on Facebook with another announcement from another festival. So, but we will come back with festivals, and artists are now at home churning out great music, and the thing about musicians is that they work so hard on the road. And this is giving them time, as it's giving us all time to kind of self-reflect. And for musicians, it's giving them time to actually have the time to sit down and record or to write new songs for a new CD. So there's a silver lining to it all as well, because it's such a hard thing on the road that musicians are compelled to always be on tour. So this is something nice for them to do, but they're losing out a lot of income for sure.
Would you, if Desert Days was able to do an online version, would you participate in that?
Oh, for sure. I would love to do that. That sounds like a great idea. I think, it would be great for the next festival as well to have people sort of see that something did happen. And I think it would be great to have a lot of the local groups as well and if you can, get some of the groups that Desert Days had lined up for this year, that would be great. I would definitely support that.
Awesome. So you're going to play a song for us today, but what's the thought process behind the song you're going to play?
Well, the song is called Big Wet Moon, and it was actually written when I was back in Vancouver. I was living in New West, and I had just seen an artist at the Railway Club where I used to play a lot, and he just had this really nice delivery, and the idea of the song wasn't inspired by, but the more like the playing style was. And then when I was driving back to New West, it was like a huge full moon, and the inspiration for the lyrics just started to come. And because I was there that night at a bar, it kind of had that going to a bar kind of like feel to it. So and then as you'll see in the lyrics, it goes on to another kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of lyrical kind of thing.
Hey.
So this is Big Wet Moon, and I want to thank my cat Luna. I'm borrowing her scratch tree to put the camera on. All right. Saw you cross the room. You were reading Harry and June, sipping on bourbon and beer, and asked you what time you got here. But this is what you said to me: the big wet moon is out tonight. The big wet moon is out tonight. Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird myself. The big wet moon is out tonight. Probably some Russian spy code thing. The big wet moon, the big wet moon, the big wet moon, the big wet moon is out tonight. So I introduced myself, trying hard to accept you, for tripping over my tongue. I think I asked you your name. This is what you said to me: the big wet moon is out tonight. The big wet moon is out tonight. Well, it's not exactly a pick-me-up mine, now is it? The big wet moon, the big wet moon, the big wet moon, the big wet moon, big wet moon is out tonight. around. No loose lips on your master plan. I was just hoping we could play some pool, but damn, this is what you said to me. The big wet moon is out tonight. Do you need to get to a safe house? The big wet moon is out tonight. They just got a thing for trench coats. The big wet moon, the big wet moon, the big wet moon, the big wet moon is out tonight. It's getting kind of late. It's okay if you just don't rebound. Let's leave tomorrow for the ocean. Give me a sign, I'll be your clandestine. This ain't no hostile honey trap. Cause the big wet moon is out tonight. Baby, I got a thing for trench coats. The big wet moon, the big wet moon, the big wet moon, the big wet moon is out tonight. Thanks, Garrett.
That was awesome. So
All right.
that's one of your songs.
That's one of my songs, yeah.
That's amazing. Right on. It's the
Yeah.
best song I've heard all day.
Hey, I wanted to show you what my instruments. There's a story behind them. I thought that might be interesting.
Oh, please, yeah.
Yeah? I'm not
Yeah.
sure how to do this. Okay, here we go. Oh, I got to turn it around now. So this guitar, I won't go through all of them, but this guitar is actually a 1968 Washburn guitar. And it was given to me by my uncle. He's passed away now. But I love to play it. It has no pickup in it. But it's a really nice guitar, and it's in pretty good condition. And this trumpet here, I did actually some trumpet playing. Thank God my neighbor was actually gone to Kamloops. So I'm learning all these things I used to do as a kid. This is all giving me an opportunity to do. And I've got the trumpet basic book, and it takes you through the basics of trumpet. This is my banjo. It's missing a string. Might have to go to Kamloops to get a string. Then my djembe, which a lot of us do play our drums at Unity or at festivals, so that might have to wait until I'm amongst friends to do that. We'll maybe make our first opening at Unity as a jam. And this is a Gibson knockoff. It needs a lot of work, but I've been playing a bit of lead. And then my piano, which I've been learning how to do a bit more piano as well. And then my accordion, which I only play when I'm a bit drunk because it sounds better to everybody. And this is what I've started to investigate as well. My friend Rick in town here has lent me his mandolin. And then this acoustic classical guitar was given to me by my downstairs neighbor, lovely woman, Flora. So those are all instruments. And then I have a guitar amp and the PA that I brought up from Unity. And I also have a drum machine, which actually used to be Andrea Bona's. So all these cool things that I'm getting to work with. And as many you'll remember, I had my guitar stolen at Unity, and this is the replacement. It's not a Takamine guitar, but it is a nice guitar to play. And that's the guitar that I actually play when I'm doing live music at festivals. So I just thought I'd give you an idea of my little uh, music nook. Very excited by it.
No, it's very cool. I mean, my nook is all comic books and video games, so your nook is more cool than mine.
Cool.
Oh, right on.
Like anything else, or it was just like the what we just did?
Well, that's pretty much it. Unless there's anything else you'd like to talk about.
No, no, I'm good. I think that gives you a fair bit, and I feel good about it. I didn't flounder too much in the song, so.
No, yeah, I think you did very well. So, right on, Nadine. Thank you so much for dropping in today.
Thank you,
And
Gareth.
we'll see you soon, I'm sure.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Love what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.